Okay. Good morning. Today I'm going to lie with respect to the networks, environmental munificence and innovation in Colombian small medium enterprise. If you remember, I want to answer one specific question. How does munificence affect the relationship between external networks and innovative performance in Colombian manufacturing small and medium enterprise? According to the previous literature and the previous research, I propose this model in order to answer these questions. This model contains three hypotheses. First hypothesis establishes there is a positive relationship between external networks and innovative performance of the firms, of the organizations. Second hypothesis states that there is a positive negative relationship between munificence of the sectors and innovative performance of the organizations. And finally, the most important hypothesis, hypothesis number 3, said that there is a negative relationship between the munificence sector moderate the positive relationship between external networks and innovative performance becomes long strong this positive relationship. This is the model and some countervariables. Okay, results. The analysis was made using hierarchical relation with zero-faded quasar, and the first model contained only the control variables. The second model, the model 2, contained the network, the independent variables. In this case, network, external network, and munificence. And finally, the model 3 contained the interaction terms in order to test the final hypothesis. In the first model, we can see that the only two variables, control variables, had a positive relationship with respect to the innovative performance of the firms: intellectual capital and research and development investment. In order to test the first hypothesis, the positive relationship between the external network and innovative performance of the firms, the variables network were introduced in the model. In this case, we can see that there is a positive relationship between the networks and innovative performance of the firms. The second hypothesis states that there is a negative relationship between munificence and innovative performance of the organization. In this case, the relationship was negative and significant too. Finally, the most important hypothesis states that the munificence affect the relationship between networks and munificence, the interaction terms. In this case, the relationship was positive and significant. And most important is to consider the growing in each model with respect to the previous model. In the first model, the R squared was increased with respect to the previous model, 11, 59, and 16. And this was significant. Okay, discussion. First hypothesis. The first hypothesis was supported. It's okay. Okay, it is consistent with the previous research indicating that building networks allows smaller organizations to improve their innovative performance. Essentially, because these links allows organizations access to the resource which otherwise could not be acquired. Second hypothesis was supported too. This result is consistent with the previous research, stating that the organization working on more munificent environment have less orientation to engage in innovative practice. Essentially, because these organizations don't have the need to be creative to overcome the constraint that environment puts them. On the contrary, these organizations take advantage of the such generosity of the environment. And finally, the hypothesis number 3, the support was not, this hypothesis, not support was for? Not support?
Was not supported.
Was not supported. Okay. However, these results are very, very interesting, and for me is very okay. First, this result suggests, first, in the concept of the Colombian small and medium enterprise, building network always is needed to develop the process of innovation, because network first are the means to access the complementary resources, and second, the networks allows the organization to exploit the generosity of the environment. And most important, because the result suggests the idiosyncratic nature of the process of innovation of small and medium enterprise in developing countries. Conclusions. First, the results validate, in some cases contradict, but in essential are complement the finding of the previous research. Second, organization building network take advantage from the lack of resources of their partners, and in developed countries, organizations need network for the innovation because it allows them to access and exploit the environmental generosity. And finally, in munificent environment, links are more valuable. Thanks. Any questions? Very easy? Very quickly? Very clear.
I have one question. What do you plan to do next that you have obtained those results?
Future research?
Yeah.
For example, use another more restricted methodology with respect to this model. This model runs two regressions. The first regression runs a quasi regression, and the second a login regression what organization have structurally zero innovation. But in this case, the variables munificent is the second level, and the organization is the first level. So we need to use a specific statistic techniques that consider this difference in the level, first level and second level. This technique is the hierarchical linear model, because the data is needed the first level and the second level, into the second level. Yeah.